Hey on the channel, 2025 is here, and with that comes a brand new top 5. As today's video, we're counting down my top 5 action figure resolutions.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another edition of the Kyle Peterson Top 5. Of course, a tradition here on the channel is we do a lot of top 5, top 10 countdowns, especially this time of year where we celebrate the best of 2024, for example. But now we're doing a little bit of a look ahead to 2025, and of course a lot of people have New Year's resolutions. They're going to get in shape, they're going to stop smoking or chewing or drinking or something like that. There's a lot of people that has some resolutions, and for the most part I'm not a big resolutions guy. I feel like I don't need to be. You got to just take every day one step at a time is what you got to do. However, I got 5 goals, maybe would be a better solution, a better word than resolution. Call it what you want, but these are my 5 collecting goals I'm going to have in 2024 for my personal collecting. Maybe you got some as well, and I would love to hear them. Put them in the comments down below. Start at number 5, work your way to number 1. Number 1 being your biggest goal of 2025 for your collection. But I got a few of them, and I thought I would share them with everybody in this video. So without further ado, let's kick it off at number 5. All right, we kick off the countdown here at number 5, my number 5 action figure collecting resolution. And this number 5 one goes around retro wrestling figures, more specifically the Hasbro style figures. Now, it's going to be an interesting year in 2025 as there are a lot of companies making these retro style figures, but with all these different companies making them and at the price point from $30 to $50, it's making it very, very difficult on collectors, even hardcore collectors like me, who love to be a completist. It's in my brain since I was a little kid. Gotta catch them all like a young Pokemon, but it's being harder and harder to do in the retro landscape. When you got the KWKs of the world, you got Zombie Sailor toys, you got the Mattel retros still going strong, you got Grapplers and Gimmicks, of course, our friends over at Hassel Toys, Title Run Toys, a new one on the block, Rush Collectibles, Epic Toys, figure collections, and I'm probably leaving somebody out, and there's probably more to come in 2025. It's going to be a lot of figures and a very expensive hobby. Of course, action figure collecting is an expensive hobby, regardless of these retro figures. So my goal in 2025 is to be a bit more selective. Now, I'm probably going to be buying more than the average Joe out there. However, I'm going to have to pass on some of these because you can't get it all. At least I haven't won the lottery yet. But hopefully one of these days, sometimes you win the lottery in life, but you don't win the lottery financially. That's where I feel a lot of times. Maybe one day, but you got to play to win the lottery is what I've been told. So maybe I should start playing the lottery in 2025. I don't know, but one thing I'm going to do is try to dial it back a little bit on the retros. We'll see what happens, and that's my number 5 goal resolution for 2025. We're at the number 4 spot in the countdown, and number 4 really comes out of pure laziness. That's what it really comes out of for me, as I've had this set up before, and I need to do it again. And I've been wanting to do this for the last couple years. I've just never got around to it. And what are we talking about, number 4? I want to get my action figure ring setups again. I used to have a nice setup. I had the backstage area, I had the ring skirts, all that, the crowd. I had all that set up, and it was great for figure photography, things like that. I did do some restructuring of my collection a few years back, and I took that down and I never put it back up. Now, if you guys check out, I think it was my first ever toy room tour, it did show that in my collection, but I would like to redo that now because I have all these different rings, all these different setups. I think it'd be really cool to be able to take, oh, here comes the War Games cage, and here comes the AEW ring, mixing and matching, doing some of that. I got all the rings, I got all the setup, I got enough people to fill out a crowd. I really should get after that, and I'm still trying to decide. I guess the thing holding me back back right now. Where do I want to put it? Do I want to put it in my storage room? Do I want to put it in my Jakks Classic Superstars room? Or do I want to put it somewhere else? We'll see what ends up happening, but I am going to look to do that sometime in 2025. It's been far too long, and I think it would look really good set up. So look for that possibly in 2025 here at the channel, and that's what's coming in at number 4. We're at the halfway point in my New Year's resolution action figure countdown. Do you got your list together? Put it in the comments down below. But number 3, a very interesting one. A very interesting one here. And I'm still working it out in my mind a little bit what I want to do. So this could possibly be 2024. Maybe 2025, we'll see what happens. But of course, space is always an issue for any collector out there. We all deal with space, whether you have a whole basement, you got a room, you got a shelf, whatever it may be, space is always the enemy. Now, I know my collection better than anybody else. It's my collection after all. And people do say, hey, you know, you're running out of room. Well, Matt Cardona was here. We did a video, of course, on the Major Pod with that. And I said, hey, you can see here, I got a lot of room to play. And I still got room to play for a couple more years. But eventually I'm going to be out of room. So we're going to have to see what happens with some of that stuff. Will it be so hard to say goodbyes? Will we move some stuff? Will I move some things around? We'll have to see what happens, but I got to start making plans for the future. Is it moving to a bigger house? I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to pack all this stuff up. And to be honest, I really enjoy my house and my location. It's really a dream house for me, and I want to kind of keep it forever until it's time to retire, of course. So I don't plan on moving, but never say never. You never know what the day job might make me do. I could be moving to a town near you. Who knows? We could be neighbors. But I am looking at maybe some possibilities, as I do have room in my backyard. We do have a big basketball court back there. Unfortunately, nobody playing basketball out there. I was never a basketball guy. I was a baseball guy. Kids, unfortunately, don't like it. We usually use it for a pool, things like that. Maybe looking in the future, do I build a garage back there? Do I build a big storage shed, a space for more storage, or maybe space for the YouTube channel? Do I make a studio out there? Do I do something along those lines, or do I do it as just pure storage, or more collection room? I'm not exactly sure, but that's one thing I've been kicking around. I've talked to a couple of construction companies, I guess we'll call them, construction companies, just seeing the cost on some of that stuff. Of course, electricity wiring out there, what kind of things I can do, and then, of course, zoning in the city as well. So that is something that is on my radar. Of course, good friend of the channel, Jeff George, who knows, he might be involved too. Maybe we'll go in on it. We'll make a super play place for us both. We'll get bunk beds. We'll have a microwave. It'll be just a dream. We could live it together out there in the backyard in the shed. Who knows? Who knows what possibilities may lie? But that's something I'm looking at. I'm going to start maybe out into 2025, possibly 2026. We'll see what happens, but that's my number 3 resolution. Getting closer to the top spot in my New Year's resolution countdown. Here we are at number 2. And number 2 is something I put off for a little bit. You're going to see some more videos on the channel here in 2025. And that is a popular continuing saga on the channel. It is That's So Hard to Say Goodbye. As of course, like most collectors, I do have a few extras of stuff that I need to get rid of. I also have some collections that maybe I'm just not feeling like I once was, that are taking up real estate, that are taking up space, that is maybe time to move on from them. So I'm going to have a couple of those videos, more than I did in 2024. In 2025, I do believe. So I will have some things leaving my collection, and anytime something leaves, it makes room for more stuff in your collection. So talked about space in the last one. Well, you get rid of some of this, you got more space, and I already have some space to play with. So that's why I'm saying that number 3 one could be this year, maybe the next year, maybe the next year after that. We'll see, but I'm going to start doing the drawings up there. But I will be doing some more That's So Hard to Say Goodbyes in 2025. That is my number 2 resolution, which means there can only be one left. I guess you could have 50 if you want to. But what is the top goal resolution for me and my action figure collection for 2025? Stay tuned. We've hit the number 1 spot in our 2025 goal resolution countdown. Once again, get your list together. Put it in the comments down below. And I guess one other goal I have for the channel offside of this list is, I can't believe this is true, but we're coming up on the 5-year anniversary of this YouTube channel in March 2025. I can't believe it. Time flies when you're having fun. As a wise man once said, what is time? But we are going to be celebrating the 5-year anniversary of the channel. And one goal I hope, and you guys could definitely help me out, is let's hit 50,000 subscribers by March sometime. That is a goal to work at. We'll see what happens. Obviously, you never know how that may go. But of course, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel and my other one while you're at it. And tell a friend. A lot of people probably would like this channel. They just don't know about it. So there is a possibility for more subscribers there. But that is a pretty fun goal. And once we do hit 50,000 subscribers, we got to do some significant giveaways on this channel. Maybe it's 5 different giveaways. I'm not sure exactly what that'll be. We have some time to figure that one out. And of course, 5-year anniversary special on the channel should be a fun video. We got to do something special for that. We might have to call in all kinds of friends to celebrate that one, and we'll have some giveaways around that as well, because you guys are what keeps the channel alive, and you gals too. Appreciate you gals out there. But that's one thing I have a goal for in 2025. Also have a lot of cool things, a little peek under the tent. Of course, 2024. We released a book, almost 700 pages, The Complete Guide to the Jakks Class Superstar Series. A labor of love, if there ever was one. About the thickest book you'll ever read, that's for sure. But big goal of mine was to always be a published author, and you might see some more of that maybe in 2025. You may see some other things in 2025 from this channel as we expand to other things. Obviously, action figures will be the point that we dial in from, because that's what brought us to the dance, of course. But a lot of goals in 2025 around the channel as well. And who knows, maybe you'll see some of those sooner rather than later. Stay tuned, and the best way to do that is, of course, subscribing and stay in touch with all my social medias as well. But we're at the number one part of this video here. The number one goal resolution I have in 2025 is something that I was absolutely disgusted with myself in 2024. I'm a person that is very focused on what I do. I'm a very driven person. Obviously, I put out 4 videos every single day on this YouTube channel, even more on Patreon. I am a hard worker. I'm the definition of hard worker. I'm going to toot my own horn right here, as I do work a day job, a very demanding day job. 60 hours a week is not unheard of. Traveling a lot. You got wife and kids. I'm very focused on getting things done and doing things and really maximizing my minutes in collecting, but also maximizing my minutes in life. I never want to waste any time doing something. Sleep when I'm dead, that's what I'll do it. But I'm very focused on what I want to do. And one thing that really, like I said, disgusted me about myself in 2024 was I'd sit down and I would knock out 10 reviews. It's 8 o'clock at night or whatever, and I'm going to knock 6 reviews out tonight. And I get after it, and I get after those reviews, and I do these elites, I do whatever it may be. Instead of putting them away into these cases, for example, I use kind of cardboard boxes. I'll say, okay, I just did these 2 elites, put them in there, I take them to my photo room, take pictures of them, and then I should put them away in the display cases. Well, unfortunately for me, of course, running out of time. What is time? Well, sometimes you don't have as much as you want to. What I would do is I would take pictures of the item, take pictures of the figures, put them back in there and say, oh, I'm tired, I'm going to go to bed. I'll put all those away tomorrow. Well, tomorrow comes, man, I better knock out some more reviews. I do that. Do the pictures, put them in the box, and I'll put those away tomorrow. And all of a sudden, before you know it, I have 10 boxes lined up on the floor of figures that need to be put away where they go. Could be Thundercats, He-Man, Marvel, could be WWE Elites. All of a sudden, you got a pack of figures here you need to put away that you haven't, and then you're just disgusted with yourself because, man, now it's going to be a 4-hour job. Instead, if I did box by box, it would be, 10 minutes for each one. So that is something I have to get way better at. As Kyle, you got to just suck it up, put another 15 minutes in, put that box away. And my goal is every single day, night, weekend, whatever it is, once I'm done with my work for the day, I put those figures where they need to go into my collection. Obviously, there'll be points where I can't do that, but I got to be a heck of a lot better on that in 2025. I know a lot of us out there that collect, we struggle with our displays, putting stuff away, things like that. I'm not super terrible about it, but I want to be better about it here in 2025. So that is my personal goal, and really the only person that's going to hold me back from that goal, you're looking at him right now. So hopefully I can be on top of that. I think I will be, and that is my plan. And I guess I'll report if I'm not. We'll see what happens there. But that is my number one goal resolution in action figures in 2025, which concludes this list. Once again, put your list in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell as we got videos every single day. and then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over there on Patreon. You guys know that by now. Plenty of stuff over there to keep you busy, and your best way to support the channel. ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson. SirPaul64 over there on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram, and now on TikTok. So, for a New Year's resolution list, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.